Hey everybody, it's Katie Bueller. The last couple videos I've done, one of them I had mentioned a couple years ago that I had had an out-of-body experience and that maybe sometime the topic of my videos would be that. And since then, I've actually received lots of messages asking me to share about that more and then specifics, like different parts of it that they've already watched my YouTube video. When I got asked to speak at the IANDS, about my out-of-body experience. So the one question I'm gonna take today, I'll have to do separate videos on the different questions just so that I can like hone in on one topic more and like talk more about that specific topic. So the one that I was going to talk about today was people who've passed on and what it's like, what I saw, the relatives who had like passed on or died, and that I experienced on the other side and what that was like. So, this specific topic has actually taught me a lot in this life, and it's a really good topic. I feel like that could help a lot of people. So, when I was on the other side, nobody spoke like the way we speak. Nobody spoke any language. It was all telepathic. That's the word, telepathic. Everybody like thought and everybody heard, and there wasn't like one language. It was just like we all heard each other's thoughts and understood what each other were saying. So it was very much just telepathic. I never had somebody speak straight to me. It was all, I knew what they were thinking, they knew what I was thinking, and it was actually really amazing, like a really cool experience. So I saw my grandparents who had passed away, and I saw my grandma and grandpa Case, and I saw my grandpa Burling, but I hadn't seen my grandma yet because she was still alive, and I knew they had told me that she was going to pass away soon and that it's her time to go and she's ready. And sure enough, a little while after that, she did pass away. So I also saw my sister's baby. She was actually pregnant with her. Jessie was pregnant with Addie at the time, and it was a little bit towards the end of the pregnancy. And I was told that she was going to come early and that everything would be fine, but that she was going to come early. And it was like, I wouldn't say that I got told it was going to be scary, but like I knew being early would cause some issues, but that everything would be fine. And so my sister Jessie knew before her baby came that she was coming early because I had told her that. So I also saw my husband's grandparents, but for some reason his grandma wasn't there, his mom's mom, and come to find out at the exact same time, one of my husband's sisters had gone through some stuff, and that was her guardian angel. And so now I understand like why she wasn't there, but at the time I didn't understand it until I like told my husband, and then come to find out later, I talked to my sister-in-law and she's like, yeah, she's my guardian angel. So, and I know that like they can come and go very fast, but for some reason at this time, she really needed to be with her. And I understand that, especially with the situation. So, anyways, so I saw grandparents, I saw aunts, uncles, I saw like pretty much a lot of people who had passed on that I knew. And then there were like hundreds and hundreds of people that I saw. And then there were also a lot of people who I saw and I knew them there. Like I knew who they were there, but I didn't know them here, like in this life. And it's kind of hard to explain, but like I knew them and they knew me, but I didn't know who they were. And so like I didn't know them in this life, but I knew who they were. So either they most likely were like ancestors, like past ancestors that like I would probably recognize or know if I were to go like research the ancestry line and stuff, but it was like past relatives. So I knew I had like the knowing that I knew them and they were close to me and like they cared about me unconditionally and like cared for my life. And I knew who they were when I was in that realm. But I didn't know who they were when I lived in this realm, if that makes sense. So, and they like all there was just like so much love and so much unconditional love and acceptance and just complete peace. Like almost something we don't experience in this life. Like the amount of love we experience in this life doesn't even comprehend what it's like there. So I had like all the ancestors around me and we all spoke telepathically. So I don't know even who told me what because we all thought and then we all understood each other's thoughts. So it wasn't like I really needed to know who told me what. I just needed the message that I got. So I also understood that our ancestors are with us in this life and they are here to help us on a daily basis, And actually, a lot of their purpose there now is to help us here through our life. And I didn't know that before. So in our life, like every day, we struggle with different things and we go through different things. And I had learned through my LDS background to pray to God. And I learned in this experience, I don't know if you'd call it praying to your ancestors, but like speaking to them. Even though they're on the other side, they're with us. Their realm is right here. Like we just can't see them. And the spirit world is right here. So I did understand that beforehand, but I was told that, or I had the knowing, because you didn't get talked to, you just heard each other's thoughts. And so like telepathically I understood that they were here, they were in our lives to help us through anything we needed and that we could always ask them all the time. Like they were always there and they're here to help us do things. Like for example, if you need like a discounted ticket for something, you can ask for it. And a lot of times they'll send them your way. And just like different things that you're struggling with in life, you can ask for help with and they'll help you. So I now see it so differently than what I did. And I actually use them in my daily life all the time. So just even like there was a situation that one of my children were in last week and I had asked grandparents from the other side to go with them in this situation and help them through it. And like, I just trust and have a knowing that they do because of what I saw. And so I actually feel like I have a little bit different of a relationship than when I did on the other side. Not that when I did on the other side, but from before I had the out-of-body experience, like I have a different understanding of what it's like. So and now I see a lot more signs of them in my life than I did before, where before I just didn't understand that like we could use them and ask them and that's what they're there for. Like they're actually there and care so much about us and they're very, very, very present. And that there's like I had hundreds and hundreds and I knew specifically like my grandparents and my grandpa who had passed away. And since my grandma hadn't passed away yet, like I had seen them specifically and I remember them, but there were ones that I knew who were my ancestors and even just like people who cared so much for me that were there that I didn't know to my knowledge in this worldly experience. So now I use them and I ask them all the time, like, can you help me with this? Can you help with this? And I get a lot of help from them. So I know for a fact, and they're very, very present in my life. So I'm going to share a couple of stories of how they're present in my life so that you guys can kind of see like how they're present in your life. And you can even ask for signs of how they'll show up for you. And every one of them will be different. So the more you are like aware of it, the more they'll be open to like sharing it with you. So Okay, so I'm gonna share one. My grandma that I got told was gonna go soon, and that she's lived a good life and she's ready to go soon. So she ended up passing away, and I knew that they were so a part of our life because what I experienced, and that they wanted us to ask for help all the time and stuff. And so I asked for a sign from my grandma Burling and at her funeral. So I don't believe that they show up as like an animal or something. I believe they send you a sign through something. So just to make that clear, because sometimes when I say a white butterfly, people think that I believe in reincarnation. So I I asked my grandma Burling to show up in a white butterfly so that I knew she was present after she passed. And I asked for her to do that on the funeral day. So we went to her funeral, and then we went to the gravesite afterwards, and we drove a little while from like South Jordan to West Valley, and then we went to the gravesite, and then she wasn't like, I didn't see any butterflies or anything. And on the way home, we had driven like on side roads to get home, and a I had noticed all of a sudden to my right hand side, we would like stop, like we were on a road that was like 35 miles an hour on the way back to the church to have the luncheon. And I noticed next to my car on the right hand side was a white butterfly, and it had flown from like light to light to light with me, like right next to the outside of my window, and just flown like on the way home. It was really cool. So like it was just like one light to the next light to the next light to the next light, and she just like, so she didn't become a butterfly. I get that. But she was sending me a sign like, I'm okay, I'm happy. And now she appears to me in butterflies. Like she shows me a butterfly to show me that I'm here for you, I'm with you, and I'm very present in your life. So that has actually really changed my life, since I've gone through like different experiences in this worldly realm, and helped me just be like, they're so present. So another one was, we were at a family reunion up in Idaho, and Calvin's family was actually having a family reunion, and we were on a hike, and I happened to be in a deep conversation with one of my sister-in-laws, and as we were hiking, she was telling me how her dad had passed away recently, and like what that was like for her, and how her dad had shown up in a sign. And so she was telling me about that. And then after that, I had told her, yeah, my grandma had passed away. And then right then I said, she always sends me white butterflies to help me know she's there. And literally right then, a white butterfly just like flew up and was right next to us and just stayed by us for a little while. And just today I was like text messaging her about this subject. Like, do you remember when that happened? Because I was just thinking like what stories I was going to share for this. And she's like, oh my gosh, I totally remember that. So it was so powerful just to know, like, even in the moment of me speaking of her, like how present she is in my life. And it was just like, it's amazing to know how much they're there. But we just have to be aware, like aware of the signs. And you can even say, can you show up to me with white butterflies? Like, or whatever. So, another one. Okay, so my Aunt Jean, she shows up to me in rainbows. Like, she sends me rainbows. And it's a knowing. Like, I have this gift of knowing, and I know everybody has lots of different gifts. And for me, it's like when a sign comes, I have this overwhelming knowing of like just this rush of like energy, and I understand, almost like telepathically, I understand that they're trying to tell me something, and then I'm like very aware of it. So it's so awesome. So, but you guys all can experience this. Like, this isn't just for me because I had this experience. I'm the same special as everybody else. Like, we're all the same and divine in God's eyes. So, another one was, I had like a really rough week, and this specific week, I don't even know, there were so many things. Like, I literally think I was like, could one more thing go wrong? And I had pulled up, I think I had sick kids. My husband was gone out of town for work. my house flooded. So like, I'm trying to think. My daughter was like dancing at a drill showcase that night. And oh yeah, so my daughter was dancing at a drill showcase, and somebody had like gone to the bathroom in the upstairs bathroom. So we have 3 levels. We have 2, a main, an up, and a downstairs. So, and they like went to flush the toilet, and apparently they weren't like paying that much attention. And then we left, and it was like 3:45 when we left. Then we had, like, I had some other activities with my boys. Then I ended up going back to watch my daughter at the drill showcase, and at 6 o'clock it started, and so it like ended at like 8, and then we went out to ice cream with some friends. And when we got back, there was this oh my gosh, this video is already 15 minutes long. Okay, I'm gonna try to hurry. So this is why I can only share like one subject at a time. So when we had gotten back, it was probably like 10:30 or something, and my son Kason had a friend sleeping over, and my daughter Callie had. And so, and my son Kyler was at like a scout sleepover for the night. That's where my husband, he was at a scout sleepover with my other son. So all of a sudden, downstairs, I hear screaming on the top of her lungs. And my daughter's like, oh my gosh, it caved in. The ceiling caved in. There's a flood. Or she's like, it's flooding. So she runs upstairs. And so I like run out, and I'm like, what the heck? So I go and turn off the toilet water, and I go downstairs, and it's like flowing through the ceiling. Like water's like flooding through the ceiling. And at this point it was like 11 o'clock at night. So from 3:45 to 11 at night, it had compiled in the bathroom. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. It pretty much like, it like piled up so high, and then there was no vents in my kid's bathroom until it seeped through the baseboards and then went through the other level and then just went down. And so like, it had taken us to like 1 in the morning to clean it up, and my husband was gone. It was just like a stressful night. And then the next day, I think my daughter had like drill tryouts a little bit after that even. And like my other 2 kids were just like sick, and it was just like one thing after another that week. And I probably was like, didn't have my husband home during some of that time. And so I was like even more stressed. I don't remember. I just remember it being like, oh my gosh, seriously. Oh, and it was like gloomy, and like the weather was just gloomy and no sun. And I had like had it with the winter. So I drove to Walmart, and at this particular time, oh yeah, I went to Walmart to get some medicine, and I all of a sudden saw this blind lady, and she had like a cane, and she was walking like in the parking lot to get like back and forth with her cane to get through the parking lot, and she had like groceries in her arm, and then she turned to go on the sidewalk, and it caught me. Like, I stopped dead in my tracks. Like, I pulled my car over, and I just watched her. And I wasn't like watching her out of disrespect. I was like, my Aunt Jean was like sending me a message, and my Aunt Jean became blind, and my name is Katie Jean Case, and now it's Bueller because I'm married. But so I was named after my Aunt Jean, and she was sending me a message like, it's okay, it's gonna be okay, and to like focus on the good things in life at that point, like have gratitude. And when everything seems to be so stressful, like look up and focus on all the things you're grateful for in your life. And literally that second that I saw that, I stopped immediately and was like, oh my gosh, this lady is amazing. Like, I saw her light. I saw how much effort it took for her to go to a grocery store. How did she even look for the stuff? Like, how does she even check out? How did she even know? Like, it was so amazing to me. And I just sat there and I had so much gratitude for my life. And all the things I had been going through immediately went away. Like, and my Aunt Jean had given me the gift in that moment of gratitude. And like, it's just, it's so powerful to know, like, they are so present in our lives on a daily basis. So for for everybody out there who's hearing this message, I feel lately that I'm supposed to be sharing more. I feel like I'm supposed to be sharing more of my out-of-body experience. I feel like I'm supposed to be stepping into the mentoring side of me and helping people through things. And every time I take like tests, personality tests, or I look into something, I always am led back to that I'm here to inspire others. I'm here to help others through deep things. I'm here to help them with relationships. And so that takes courage to like step into what you're here for. But I definitely saw that we need to not have fear. So I'm going to be sharing more of my different out-of-body experiences and like how they've helped me, and so that they can help you. I know that I didn't just have this experience for myself, but to help other people. So when you're feeling alone in life and like you just can't take one more day, and I know there are people out there like this because I talk to them. Like, I just had a session yesterday, and I won't go in detail because they're like private, but it was like people go through hard things and sometimes they just need somebody. And so like our ancestors are truly there for us. They are there to carry us through these hard things and to help us through them, and to realize they're not alone through them and they're getting help from the other side. So I know for a fact that they send us signs and they send us different symbols, and so we just need to either tell them what they are so that they can show us them, or wait for them to show us. And it doesn't matter either way, because like I never gave my Aunt Jeanette a rainbow sign. She sent me that. And God speaks to me a lot through music. Like when I'm going through a hard time, I'll get a really like a knowing to turn on the radio, and then all of a sudden the song's on and it's like exactly what I need to hear. So I get answers in a lot of different ways, and I know a lot of you do too. And so I just want you all to be aware that they're very present in your life, and if they have sent you signs or even dreams, like my husband recently had a dream with his grandpa in it, and he told him several things, and it was so amazing. Like, so don't doubt those. If you get dreams, if you get like visions of it, or if you even if you feel like you felt them in your room, or you felt a feeling, or you smelt something, or you saw a sign, like just know that they really are there, and they really are trying to get through to you, and they want you to know that and not doubt that. So if you get anything from this video, either you can send signs, or so for me with my grandma, when she passed away, I said, Grandma, I want to know that you're okay and that you're present in my life, and I want you to show me whenever you're around, I want you to show me a white butterfly. And I don't know why, but my grandma Burling is the most present in my life out of everybody. And I saw that like we all have tons of guardian angels around us all the time. Like it's not just one at a time, it's a lot. I was actually really shocked by it, like how much help we had. And so if you're somebody right now who's just really going through a hard time and like low, like I've been there and I get it. And they're there. Like they really are there. Like even just sometimes I sit on the back of my porch and then a white butterfly shows up. Like my grandma Burling sends me white butterflies so much. It's so awesome. So I hope that this video helps you. And if you have anybody in your life who can benefit from me sharing more about my out-of-body experience or the different messages, then just send them on over to my page or invite them to like my page. And I'm going to be sharing more. If you also have any specific questions, you can message me and I can try to do a video on that. I can only speak on what I saw because so if I haven't experienced that, I won't be able to do a video on that. But I also have a video that I I have been asked 2 different times to speak on my out-of-body experience, and I didn't get to film the one, but I filmed the other one, and it is on my Facebook page, on my business one, and so you can kind of scroll down and find that one too. But if you have any questions or anything specific that you would like to know, if that's something I can help you with, you can message me too. So I hope that you have a good day, and I hope you get to see all the signs of the other side and when they come into your life, and you can cherish those and like see that you're never ever alone. Even God, he's always with us. Like anytime you turn to him, he'll always send you comfort. And I know that through personal experience. So I am excited for you guys to either ask for signs from them, or to, maybe some of you already have some, and to not doubt them anymore. Like I've actually had several people be like, this happened and this happened. Do you think that was it? I'm like, do I think? Yeah, like 100%. And don't doubt that, because can you imagine from their side, like they love us so much, and they are here for our happiness, to help us through things. Like I thought the other side had like so many amazing things that they were doing. What they're doing is helping us like so much in our life. And it's like humbling to know that, and how much they can do for us. So actually my husband, for some reason I'm being told to share this, so I'm going to share this last story. This is an example of how they can help us also. So we might not always see it, but this is for example. So my husband was in college. He had gone home for the summer or something, and he had a motorcycle, and he had like turned out from his sister's apartment complex to the road. And when he turned, I think he had like sandals on or something, and the motorcycle had like kind of slipped out from under him, and there was a car coming, so he should have been hit. But when he looked back again, the car had been like moved back all the way, and the motorcycle was just like popped up really quick. Like, and he knows that experience, that he was helped from the other side. Like they helped him really quick. And then a little bit later, we had an experience where we saw that he actually was helped from the other side, and we got to like understand that that's like he was saved. So they even will like save us if we get in like emergency accidents or situations. They'll help us so that we're not wounded or hurt, or like shield us. Another time, one time we were running, my husband and I were running outside, and there was a bulldog who had come up, and it was like this black bulldog, and it had come, like it started running towards us, but it was dark, so we couldn't really see it coming at first. And then all of a sudden there was this big, huge bulldog, and it like had its teeth out, and my husband jumped in front of me, and right then I had a knowing that there was an orb around us. And I don't know if it was a guardian angel, I don't know what it was, but we were shielded. And I said, he can't get to us, he can't hurt us. And my husband like had jumped in front of me, and the dog was like almost ready to attack, and it had like jumped up with its teeth, and he bounced back off. And then he jumped back up and he bounced back off. And I like told my husband again, he can't hurt us. I just understand that we're being protected. And so like, it was probably really weird for my husband, because he's ready to go into attack mode, and now I'm screaming at him. He can't touch us. So like, I was like afraid, but then the second he got close, I wasn't afraid anymore, because I had experienced how we were being protected and what that was like, and I understood it. So it was really powerful. So like, they are always in our life. So I hope that this helps you today. And if you have any other like questions about any of my other, like any other things, then send me a message and I can do a video on that. And or you could always just reach out. So I hope you have a good day, and I think that's really it. Yep, I think that's it. So, okay, I hope you all have a good day. Love you all. Bye.